what's up my loves? My name is Mina. Welcome to my channel Mina Reads, and today we are going to be deciding, did these thrillers thrill me? So I would say that I'm pretty new to the thriller genre, and this video is going to be a part of my reading outside of my comfort zone series. So I would describe my comfort zone as romances, which are on the steamy side, and fantasies, which are on the violent side. And I don't really read a lot of books in between. But one of my 2022 goals is to kind of branch out of those two genres and try some new things and see if I can find some new favorites that way. So in this video, I am going to be trying some fan favorite thrillers, and I'm just going to see if I like them. Did they thrill me? Yeah, that's pretty much the concept of this video, and I'm hoping that these fan favorites are going to help me solidify like what kind of tropes I enjoy in thrillers and which ones I don't. So I hope you'll stay tuned for this journey with me, and yeah, let's get into it. What a choice clip for the beginning of this video. I'm in my scarf, no makeup, a mess, but I'm about to do my makeup right now, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about this first book that I started. So I don't know what it is, but I just have not been sleeping. My body is just like completely against sleep. I don't know what it is, because last night I didn't fall asleep until like 12 a.m. But then my body woke me up at like 4 a.m. and it wouldn't let me go back to sleep until like 7 in the morning. So it's currently like 11 and I got some sleep, but yeah, my body is just completely against resting. Don't know what it is, don't know what it's about. But in those in-between hours when my body forced me to be awake in the middle of the night, I ended up starting They Never Learn, and wow, already it is absolutely giving everything that I want and that I like in fiction. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Basically, They Never Learn is about these two characters, Scarlett and Carly. So Scarlett is a professor at this university, and she's also like a vigilante serial killer. So she kills like shitty men on campus. So like the first chapter of the book is her killing this jock who like assaulted this young woman on campus. And the campus administration has kind of been, what's it called, shoving this crime under the rug like they do for a lot of different stuff that goes on campus. So she is like, has taken it upon herself to just kill shitty men. And so that's what she's up to. And then there's a character, Carly, and Carly is a college freshman, and she is really shy. She has a lot of anxiety, and she has this new really outgoing roommate called Allison, and I believe that she kind of has feelings for Allison. It seems a little bit, you know, their scenes together are a little bit fruity, a little bit gay, and I love it. I'm living for it. And there's kind of like some pining aspects there, and there's this other guy named West that she's sort of interested in. This is not a romance, but I'm sitting here talking about their romantic relationships, but like there's something there. I think that these relationships that Carly is forming are going to be important. So yeah, basically in Carly's storyline, she has some stuff going on with this new friend Allison, who's way more outgoing than her, and I don't know, I have like a sneaking suspicion that something's going to happen to Allison. I'm not sure what, but something. Also in Carly's POV, she has like this writing seminar that she's in, and her professor kind of gives me a questionable vibe. But in Scarlett's POV, she has just murdered this guy, right, in the first chapter, and so his death has actually sparked like this investigation into a slew of curious suicides that have happened on the campus. And since Scarlett is like responsible for all of these suicides, she's really worried about people finding out that she's a murderer. So this is basically about her getting close to the person who is heading the investigation, which is this woman called Samina. And her and Samina also have a very, very gay vibe together, and I'm kind of eating it up. It's giving me a little bit of like a Killing Eve vibe, if you guys have watched that show. And yeah, like I don't know, it's just really engaging. I really like the characters. In particular, I like Scarlett. She's just such a baddie. I don't know what it is, but she's so interesting to me, and I think that I just really like stories about like vigilantism. Like they're just my favorite. So I am eating this book up. I'm about 30% into the audiobook, and I'm just planning to spend most of my day reading this, and I'm doing my makeup because I want to do some filming today as well. But yeah, that's like my hope, that I'm going to get some filming done and I'm going to finish this because I'm eating it up. I'm really excited to see where it goes, and yeah, I don't know what else to say, but it's really good so far. Hi y'all, I am about 50% into They Never Learn. I did do some filming today. I filmed 2 videos, and I've read, let's see, I'm currently on page 168, so I think I'm about 50% through, and I'm really loving this. Like, this is just such an engaging read, and I feel like it's just full of things that I love. I feel like if you've been watching some of my more recent videos, you will see that I've been talking about like these like serial killer books that I've been reading recently, and I guess this is something that I enjoy in fiction way more than I ever imagined. And I'm really into like stories about vigilanteism, and I just am I'm so engaged with this. Like, I really like it. The story is just so interesting. Like, I don't know, I just really like the writing style, and I'm finding that this book has a collection of so many things that I like. So like I mentioned, you know, it has the whole like serial killer thing, the vigilanteism, but I'm also really liking this like college journey that we're on with Carly, and how that's juxtaposed with Scarlett's more like femme fatale thing that she has going on. I'm just really engaged with it. I really like it, and I'm having a great time. Also, Scarlett has this like relationship with this guy Jasper, and he's like her TA, and their relationship seems so weird. Like, their dynamic is so strange because Jasper is like really pushy and odd, and she constantly thinks about like if she's gonna have to kill him soon, but she likes him. And it's just so odd, like, seeing her inner monologue while she talks about Jasper. But I'm so intrigued to see, like, where this is gonna go. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really good. I like it. The characterization is cool. And it's just giving. I really like it. Also, yeah, so I've totally mentioned this, like, in a previous clip, I'm pretty sure. But all of the girls in this book are bi. And, like, not to say that the bi community really desperately needs, like, a serial killer rep. But I am kind of obsessed with the fact that everyone in this book is queer. I don't know, it's just interesting, and I'm living for it. So yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to say. I just realized that I never gave any final thoughts on They Never Learn, but I absolutely loved it. 5 stars. It was really great. It was just the perfect story for me. I love stories about like murderous, unhinged women. I love revenge stories. I enjoy like vigilanteism. I enjoy serial killer protagonists, all that good stuff. It was everything that I have been like really interested in recently, and so I just enjoyed it. It was perfect for me. 5 stars. I read it at the perfect time. Monet, my friend who recommended it and purchased it for me, she knows my taste all too well, and this was just a perfect read. So yeah, 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Great way to start this video. It is New Year's Eve, and so I'm trying to do some cleaning so that I can start the new year fresh and, you know, in a nice clean space. So I'm doing some cleaning, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook for Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. And I've already started the audiobook. I'm about 9% into it, and so far I already have some thoughts, so let's talk about them. So Lock Every Door appears to be about this girl who, she's like down on her luck. I believe she broke up with her boyfriend, and so now she kind of doesn't have a place to live, and she's like doesn't have that much money. So she ends up seeing this ad for like house sitting, and she decides to, you know, try out for it because she needs a place to stay and she needs some money. So she gets to this place. It's called the Bartholomew, and basically they are going to hire her to house sit for $4,000 a month for like the next 3 months, and she just all gung-ho to do it, but it seems a little too good to be true. And they're also being really sus. Like, she can't have anybody over, and she kind of can't have any of her mail forwarded there. So it seems like they're trying to make it so that nobody knows that she's in this apartment, and so something about that seems incredibly sus. And not only does it seem sus, but the main character seems completely oblivious to how strange these requirements are for this job. It's like reading about dumb protagonists. Like, I don't enjoy that. And I feel like this girl, like, she's not even remotely suspicious. Like, it would be one thing if she just made a conscious decision, like, yeah, this seems kind of suspicious, but like, I'm desperate, I need this job. Like, no, she's just like, oh, this sounds so great, everything's gonna be wonderful, like, it's all gonna work out. My friends are just too, you know, my friends are just too paranoid. Like, girl, I think that you need to tune into the real world, because clearly something is very, very sus happening here. But we'll see how things continue. I'm really not that far. Like I said, I'm only about 9% in. What have I been up to recently? So my recent updates for just like personal life, my skin is absolutely going insane, and so I've been having like a million breakouts, which is why I haven't been filming as much, and particularly not like vlog content, because I feel like when I vlog I don't necessarily want to have to wear makeup for every scene, every clip. So I haven't been filming that much vlog stuff because my skin is a mess. But so far I have been trying some new skincare products, and I think that they're working pretty well. And I've started using pimple patches, and I think that they're like the best invention ever, so we love that for me. I've also been doing a like winter intensive course, which is basically just like a course that you take during the break between fall semester and spring semester. So I have been doing this course called Death and Dying in World Religions, and it's basically exactly what it sounds like. It's about death practices and beliefs in various religions around the world, and that's been interesting. Basically, I'm trying to finish my degree this year. Like, I really want to finish my degree in 2022. I want that to happen. I'm behind on credits because I took a semester off, as well as just kind of, I was playing around a little bit like my first year in college, so I didn't necessarily take enough credits then either, so I was already a smidge behind. And then I took a semester off. Now I'm definitely behind, but I think that it still could be possible that I finish this year, but I'm just gonna have to like grind and work really hard. So that's why I'm taking this winter course, so I can get some extra credits fit into my schedule. And yeah, we're like almost done the course. I have 1 week left basically, so I'm planning to do some coursework, some cleaning, and some listening to this book. Okay, so new year, same me in this fucking hoodie, but I am still reading Lock Every Door. I am 142 pages into it, I believe, and I think I might be liking it just a little bit more. So essentially, things at this creepy apartment that she's house sitting at, they have gone from creepy to creepier, and basically someone that she had befriended has like gone missing, and so she's kind of investigating like what may have happened to her and where she's gone. And so it's getting a little bit interesting now. So I am liking it more than I was initially, and that's basically all I wanted to say. Like, I don't have a lot of thoughts, but it's kind of getting interesting. Maybe. We'll see. Friends, we have a bit of a dilemma. I am on chapter 29, and our main character Jules, she's still looking for this woman, Ingrid, that was like also a house sitter at this building that they're all house sitting at, and she's disappeared. So she's looking for this girl. This stuff is going on. She thinks that the disappearance is like really sketchy, so she's asking a lot of the other residents if they've seen her, and blah blah blah. So the part that I'm at right now, the main character Jules has just slept with some man named Nick, and I'm struck with the realization that I have absolutely no idea who Nick is. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why do I not even remember hearing this name before? And I feel like it's because I am so utterly bored and so unengaged that I'm not even processing the stuff that's happening, because like I have no idea who this Nick person is. But it's clear that like he's somebody that I should know, or someone that we've met before. So I'm trying to like place him, and I don't know who he is. Like, there was this guy that was introduced earlier in the book, and he was like a doctor or something, and I feel like the girl Jules was flirting with him. So like, is Nick the doctor, or is Nick somebody else? Like, I don't even know. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. So I just showed you guys a little bit of like my morning routine stuff, but it's actually like noon, so I'm about to make something for lunch, and then I'm planning to do some homework for a while. And last night I did end up finishing Lock Every Door, and I gave it 2 stars. I thought that maybe the book was going to have some promise, but I just feel like it really was not interesting to me. Like, I feel like this story was just very, very dull and very lifeless and predictable in almost every way. And I'm not someone who's like good at guessing a plot twist or whatever, but I will say that the twist in this book bears an interesting resemblance to a very famous, very critically acclaimed movie that I will not name. And I have seen a lot of different thriller, horror movies and books recently attempt to do this twist, and I don't think that they have executed it anywhere near as well as that particular film did. And so every other one that I see just feels like a cheap imitation, and this one was not spared the dismal fate of being a cheap imitation of that film. So if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't, and that's okay. But yeah, like, I just found it to be, as I said, so predictable and interesting. And I feel like this one in particular, it really has one of the biggest issues that I have noticed in like my thriller reading experience, which is that I almost never like the main character, and I never feel like the main character is somebody, like the main character, the narrator person, is interesting. Like, I was not interested in Jules' life or her narration, and as much as the story was trying to tell me about how tragic and terrible her life is, and of course I can empathize with her on like a basic human level, I can't say that I really cared to read about her. You know, like, it was just not something that I felt as a part of the reading experience. And so it was just like, you know, like, it's just kind of boring. And I will say that the only reason it's not like a 1 star is I think that it makes some like very shallow but still there commentary about classism and like financial inequality and stuff like that, which is, you know, important to discuss. But yeah, I just felt like this book was just not, it was just not amazing, and it didn't quite give me all of the things that I wanted it to give, and it wasn't as exciting nor as thrilling as I would have hoped it would be. And I will say that, like, with They Never Learn, I can't say that They Never Learn was so shocking, so surprising, so twisty, but it was just generally interesting to me because I really liked 2 POVs, Carly and Scarlett. But yeah, Jules, she was just not that girl for me, and that's okay. So we're moving on to our next book, which is The Silent Patient, and I am about 73 pages into that, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So we're gonna move locations maybe after I get my food done, and then I will tell you about my Silent Patient thoughts. So I'm pretty sure I'm about 75 pages into The Silent Patient, and so far I'm actually really enjoying it, which I'm kind of surprised by because multiple people have told me they think that I'm not gonna like this book. So maybe like some stuff is gonna develop that will be bad or that I will not enjoy, but I don't know, 75 pages into it, I'm very intrigued. So The Silent Patient is about this therapist named Theo and this patient, the silent patient named Alicia, I want to say. Her name looks like Alicia to me, but the audiobook says Alicia, so I'm gonna say Alicia. So basically, Alicia, she murders her husband prior to the events of the story, and there's this whole like really public trial, and so everyone knows the story of Alicia, the husband murderer, and basically after killing him, she just never speaks again. And she was also like a famous artist prior to this murder. So she has since, like, she went away on a plea of insanity or something, or like diminished responsibility, something like that. So she's currently in a mental facility, and Theo is kind of obsessed with her and he really wants to help her. So he gets a job at the facility where she's being held so that he can be her new therapist. So far, we're learning about Theo. Honestly, Theo gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I do not trust him as far as I can fucking throw him, and I have no upper body strength. So he is very, very fucking odd to me. Very weird, very off kilter, and I'm kind of living for it. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the vlog yet, but I really like reading about themes of like obsession, and I feel like Theo is kind of obsessed with this woman, Alicia. I can't quite figure out why he would be obsessed with her. He says he has this thing about like he wants to help people or whatever, because he thinks that all therapists are a bit fucked up, and so they go into like the field of psychology to fix certain things about themselves, and then they want to do that for other people. And I'm not going to say if that's like true or not, but it's interesting. So he clearly thinks that there's some stuff off kilter about him, and he would be correct because he seems very weird. And I really like the audiobook. I am listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook is pretty great so far. So I don't know, I like it. We'll see how things develop maybe a little bit later, because I do need to do either some homework or some editing. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do, but I need to be productive in a different way besides reading, because I haven't done anything in the past 2 to 3 days but read. So yeah. Hey, so I mentioned that I need to do some homework, and so I thought that maybe I'd tell you like a little tiny bit about the homework that I'm doing. So I feel like I may have mentioned that the class I'm taking like a winter intensive course, because I'm trying to catch up on credits. I think I've definitely mentioned that. But this course is called Death and Dying in World Religions, and so it's a religion class. I need to read a few chapters of my textbook. I think I'm gonna log this textbook on Goodreads actually. I usually don't, because usually when I do like readings from textbooks, it's usually just like 1 or 2 chapters, but we've actually read this whole book in like the past 3 weeks, so I'm probably gonna log this on Goodreads. So I figured that like I'd explain what it is or why I'm reading it, and yeah, so we have to like read from here and then answer questions, and I also have to do like some other supplementary reading, and like I have to listen to a podcast and like answer questions about the podcast. I just have so much stuff that I need to catch up on, because I took a little bit of a break because, you know, it was Christmas and then it was New Year's Eve and stuff, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a break and blah blah blah. But the break it was a choice. It was a choice that I made, maybe the wrong choice, and so now we're catching up on work. So yeah, reading this, and that's what I'm working on at the moment. We're gonna do some homework. I'll maybe edit a video today. Hopefully I'm gonna get some more reading in of The Silent Patient, and then like, I don't know, I have yoga planned later, but we'll see. Hello y'all. So I am totally still in a bathrobe because I'm having a rough day. I don't know exactly what it is, but I just don't feel like I have a lot of energy, and also my eye is like killing me, this one. I don't know, I think I have a sty, and I'm not sure like where it came from or what's going on, but my eye hurts really bad and everything kind of sucks a little bit. So I'm not being as productive as I kind of have planned for today, but there's still a few hours left where I can get some stuff done. I just posted a video today, and I've been reading The Silent Patient, so I'm 200 pages into it, I think, and I still don't know how I feel about it. So I'm wondering if maybe I'll just update you like a final time when I finish, because this is not a book that I feel like is evoking a lot of big thoughts. It's just like, it exists. I think the writing's pretty good, but it's not super fast paced. There's not a bunch of developments happening. It's just like, I'm here along for the ride. Hopefully the plot twist will be cool, but I don't know. Alright, so hello my friends, we have come to the end of our journey. I just finished The Silent Patient, and I think I'm going to be giving it 2 stars. I just feel like this was an incredibly pointless story. I think it was really predictable, and I just don't think that, I don't know how to describe my feelings on it without like spoiling, and it's not necessarily the intention of this vlog to be a spoiler vlog, but I just did not think that the twist in this story was particularly surprising, and I found myself getting incredibly bored. I think the beginning of this story is really strong, like the writing is very good. I think the main character, Theo, he seems really intriguing, you know, this kind of therapist that's off kilter. I think that that's like an interesting concept, and I wish that we had stayed more focused in on like Theo, his interiority, rather than focusing on him trying to like figure out this patient, Alicia. Like, I know this is called The Silent Patient, and it's kind of about her and what happened with her and why she ended up killing her husband, but I just really think that Theo's psychology was more interesting than the investigation that he was doing into Alicia's life and all the other stuff. So the way that the story ended up, it just felt like near the middle it just got really meandering and dull, and the like investigation aspect was just really not interesting, and then the plot twist was just kind of pathetic to me, and I just feel like it was like I saw it coming from a million miles away. And I'm not even a person that's like good at predicting plot twists, or I wouldn't consider myself to be someone who's like good at figuring out a mystery, but I still knew what was going on, and it just was, I don't know, it just was not it was not everything that I was hoping for. And everyone that has seen me like reading this on Goodreads, I got like this really funny comment section on one of my Goodreads updates for this, and one person was like, oh my god, I think you're absolutely gonna love this. Another person was like, I'm currently reading this, or something like that. It was like a more neutral response. And then the other one was like, I think you're gonna hate this. And the person who said I'm gonna hate it, they were right. I can't say that I hate it like passionately, like oh my god this was garbage, but it just was like, it just was very meh. Of these 3 books, I gave 2 of them 2 stars, and I gave 1 of them 5 stars. And so I do think that I am interested in thrillers, but I don't think I'm interested in like a mystery thriller, which I would say that both Lock Every Door and The Silent Patient is. They're like a mystery thriller, and there's like an investigation aspect, or they're trying to solve a mystery, and I'm not necessarily interested in that, but I am interested in kind of thrillers with fast-paced, like morally ambiguous protagonists. So if you have any thriller recommendations that are a bit more like They Never Learn, and it's not necessarily a mystery, but it's just kind of high stakes and blah blah blah, thank you for going on this little thriller journey with me. I'm still really new to thrillers, so if you have any thriller recommendations, take what I've said into account and see if there are any thriller recommendations that you think will like suit my taste. I'd love to see what you guys would recommend me in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next one, hopefully. Bye, guys.